It's the start of the new year. This is the time where some people like to set New Year's goals. I personally don't. What I do like to do though is take stock and think about what I want to achieve in my career and if what I'm doing now is actually going to move me towards the career that I actually want. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about the steps to changing your career, the steps to getting a promotion, and using this time of year to put those plans in place. You may still have some holidays or you may still be off from work. So you've got that time to think about those things. I will say by the end of 2025, a lot of finance professionals are quite tired just because the expectations have really crept up with our role, particularly in startups. So we've been asked to have more insights, more scenarios, faster reporting, better business partnering, stronger judgment. And often the head count, particularly here in the UK, has stayed the same. And so it's been quite a challenge. And really, January is one of those few moments in the year when you can step back and look at the bigger picture. As I said, not in a dramatic new year, new me kind of way, but probably more in a practical way where you're intentionally planning your career. I know for me as well, I generally like to take at least a few days ignoring anything I do with work for the Christmas period. And then after that, I find that ideas and thoughts start popping into my head, and I think about what I really want and things that I would like to do. It's actually quite amazing how much pops into your head after a few days off. So you may have found that that has already started happening to you as well if you've taken time off. And I just kind of want to take that forward and what you can actually do with your planning for the beginning of the year. Hi, my name's Alysha Randall. I'm a fractional CFO. I also run Fast Growth Consulting and Financial Leadership Fundamentals, where I train new and aspiring CFOs within startups and scale-ups. I wrote a book on this exact topic here, Financial Leadership Fundamentals, How to Become a CFO in a Startup or Scale-Up. And if that sounds interesting to you, then please do hit on the subscribe button below. So, step one, acknowledge what you have actually done well. I definitely do this, and you might have found yourself doing this as well, but we're very good at spotting gaps. We can identify weak processes, skills that we need to improve, areas where we feel a bit behind. And what we're not necessarily good at is recognizing progress. So before you start thinking about where you want to go in 2026, it's probably worthwhile writing down what you've achieved in 2025. And not just vague things, but really specific things. Just taking 10 minutes of thinking about things that you've done well or things that you've achieved in 2025. So whether that's new roles you've stepped into before you felt ready, new responsibilities, doesn't necessarily need to be a change in a job title, decisions that you've influenced or made, difficult conversations that you've handled, systems you've cleaned up, and maybe even just confidence that you've built, even if you felt a bit uncomfortable. All of these things are step changes, and it does actually matter more than it sounds, because if you don't recognize what you have proven to yourself that you've already do, you may then aim too low about what comes next. Career changes don't come from people who think that they are not ready yet. They come from people who can see their own capabilities clearly. So, hand on heart, I've always started a role or a business when my confidence isn't there, but it's built it up over time. And once I've learned what I can quickly, in 12 months' time, I'm much more confident and embedded into that role. So with the book I mentioned earlier, the first stage of the FLF framework is mindset and leadership, just because it's integral for career changes. It doesn't matter if you're going from a bookkeeper to a finance manager or a finance director to CFO. This step is really important, and you just need to be kinder to yourself, essentially. Step two is get honest about the career that you actually want. So, this is where people can really get stuck, and actually more than you think. Maybe ponder on this one a little bit before you jump to step three. So, I've spoken to lots of aspiring CFOs, and they tell me, initially that they want to be a CFO or a finance director or finance leader. But when I ask what that means in practice or ask them a bit more details about it, it can get quite vague. And I can see chatting with them within 5 minutes, they don't actually know what they want and they need to do this step first. So take time now to define what you actually want in your role to be in, say, 2 to 5 years' time. So, not just the title, but the actual work that you want to be doing. So, do you want to be close to decision making? Do you want ownership of strategy, not just reporting? Do you want to lead a team? Do you want to stay hands-on? Do you want to do fractional work? Or do you want to work for just one business? Do you want to work for a startup or scale up, or do you want to go back to a large corporation or even back to an accounting firm? I will say these kind of questions do need to ask yourself and more to work out what you really want in 2 to 5 years' time. So in 2025, many finance professionals did experiment with fractional roles. There's a lot of fractional CFOs out there now. Some love it, but some realize that they want to go full time again and at a much higher level than before. So there's no real right answer. What really matters is clarity and understand what you enjoy about your role. Maybe start with that, write down all the things that you love doing, and then see what that looks like over the longer term. So once you're really clear on the direction of where you want to go, then the next steps are super easy. Step three is identify the gap between where you are and where you want to be. So career changes don't usually fail because of lack of intelligence. They fail because you don't address the right gap. So ask yourself honestly, what skills does the role that you want actually require? What behaviors do these people in these roles demonstrate? And where do you default to execution instead of judgment? So for many finance professionals, the real gap isn't technical. It's not that you need to learn more about tax or you need to learn about legal contracts or you need to know the inside out of IFRS. That's not the gap. It's usually things like confidence in ambiguity, ability to prioritize when everything feels really urgent, and particularly you'll recognize this in a startup, communicating clearly with founders, things like under promising and over delivering, like keeping them abreast of what needs to be done, like coming to them with options to solve a problem, not just coming to them with a problem. Lots of different steps there. Letting go of tasks that feel safe but keep you small. Are you still doing month-end reporting or is your team doing it? Managing imposter syndrome rather than letting it drive decisions. So if you want a different role in 2026 or 2027, these are the things that matter rather than tax rules. Step four is to decide what needs to change this year. So maybe you're already do journaling or maybe not. Maybe you just need to grab a pen and paper. So you don't need a 5-year plan. You just need to decide what changes you want to make. So this might be something like taking ownership of a board reporting, stepping into cash flow and scenario planning instead of avoiding it, delegating more operational work. It's a big one. Asking to attend leadership team meetings, not just preparing the packs, and getting support to build confidence as a leader. So one really meaningful shift is sometimes enough to change how people perceive you. So career step changes happen when your role starts to feel different and what you're doing feels different long before a promotion. So I absolutely encourage you to make these kind of changes before your promotion and also because practice makes perfect. So if you don't know where to start, again, the FLF book might be handy for you because this has actions at the end of every single chapter that you can implement today and will encourage you to think differently because leadership is very different to management and will help you increase your visibility across the business and also demonstrate leadership skills rather than just management skills. Step five, plan for the blockers before they show up. So every finance leader I work with can list reasons why they haven't stepped up yet. So it might be things like, I'm too busy, there's no time to think, the founder doesn't give space, the team's too junior, my confidence is shaky. I'm going to tell you right now, none of these blockers are going to disappear on their own. So instead of hoping that 2026 will be calmer, you might want to plan for these blockers now. So if time is the issue, what can you stop doing? If confidence is the issue, what support do you need? If expectations are unclear, what conversations need to happen? So this is the difference between another year of incremental progress and a genuine step change. So doing the same thing and waiting for the blockers to move on their own, it's not going to change your life. But doing things differently and making changes will. Step six is to treat your career like a long-term project. So one of the biggest mindset shifts for finance leaders is realizing that your career deserves the same structure and intention you apply to a business. It's not going to happen on your own. So you wouldn't expect a company to scale without strategy, without feedback or investment. And your career is exactly the same. So maybe use January to set a direction. Use the entire year to execute consistently, review, and adjust as you go. So, not perfectly, you're not going to do all of this without learning more or finding challenges or what have you. You just want to be intentional with what you're doing. You just don't want to just leave it to the hands of Mother Nature or gods or your founder or whoever. You don't need to overhaul your life in January, but if you want 2026 to feel different, then something needs to change. So leadership starts long before the title catches up. And if this is a year you want to step into a bigger role or 2027, then start by giving yourself permission to plan for it properly. Now, apart from following these steps, I also have three more steps to help you become a confident and skilled finance leader in the next 12 months. The first one is to hit the subscribe button below. I do a video every single Thursday, and I talk about everything you need to think about as a finance leader in a startup or scale up. The second one, of course, is to check out the FLF book. As I mentioned, it's got actions that you can implement at the end of every single chapter. It's very practical. It's not like reading your accounting exams. That's quite theoretical. And the third one, if you want extra support and have Q&A sessions with me every single month, then you might want to check out the FLF course as well. Besides that, welcome to the new year. Welcome to the year of possibilities. And I look forward to hearing from you. I would love to hear anything that you hope to achieve in 2026 in your career. If there's any gaps that I haven't spoken about on this channel, then feel free to drop them below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in next week's video. All the best. Cheers.